What would this antique silver locket have been used for? It looks like possibly ink residue on the two pads inside, but no indication that the inside door would have been sealed tightly enough to be a reservoir. It is a silver locket of some kind with a specialized interior to act as a portable device for some purpose. It has a short chain which may or may not be original, but it is about the size of my palm and heavy. Ornate carving on the exterior shell, but really doesn't seem like anything that would have been worn around the neck, possibly in a coat pocket, more like a pocket watch. Found while clearing out an estate in Ontario, so likely regional. So, what do you think it is? It's a dance purse, so called because a lady could keep it on her wrist while she danced, also called dance compacts or necessaires. The little shield-shaped smooth area on the front is for a monogram. There's space in there for some coins, some powder makeup and calling cards. It looks to be late Victorian or Edwardian. A departed someone loved to garage sale shop. I'm trying to identify this old antique. I think it may be used to hang or display clothing, but I'm really not sure. It has a hook on the top as well as the bottom, and a couple of long wooden angled platforms in the middle. It is a solid wood piece of furniture of some sort that is likely at least 70 years old. I think the piece is meant to be wall mounted, and there are no engravings. What is this thing? It's a valet stand. It holds a man's suit and other accessories. I think it is meant to be mounted high enough on a wall, so the garments hung on the lower shoulders don't drag. It's a really nice and well-made one. The ones made today are mainly cheap and flimsy, that fall apart after a bit of use. What is this relatively heavy brass item with no writing? It came from an antique store in New England. It's about 3 inches tall, 3 inches wide, and made of brass, and looks like it is meant to sit on a table. Any ideas? It's an early 20th century matchbox holder. When matches were invented in 1830, people immediately tried to think of how to transport these dangerous things. The first match holders were produced as early as 1835 and were made of wood. Later iron and other materials were used. The simple match holders were made for the common people. Only the wealthy could afford expensive holders made of silver and richly ornamented. What is this antique wooden cabinet? Approx 80 centimeters tall and 60 centimeters wide. The top opens to show what seems to be scrolls of some sort, with a winding lever to the side. Not much more to go on as it isn't mine. Looks to be musically related, possibly for music scrolls. I've tried image searching and general music cabinet and scroll music cabinet type searches with no luck so far. Any ideas? It's a Celestina mechanical music box from the late 19th century. You would insert a pattern roll into the center and crank it for it to play music. The center tracker bar between the two main spools has holes where the air is pulled, and whenever a paper punch-out passes over, the hand crank turns the paper roll and also operates a bellows which provides constant suction. Air moves over tuned reeds to play notes much like a harmonica. What is the chain around this antique crock used for? This is an antique crock used before refrigeration for things such as butter, salted meats, or pickled vegetables. However, I've never seen one with a chain around it, and I haven't found anything similar searching online. I believe the stains around the top are rust stains from a second chain. This is at a museum, but the volunteer there didn't know the chain's significance. Any ideas? The metal band around the middle is to attach to a mechanism that spins it end over end. The rust at the top could be from a lid. It looks like the nubs on the sides by the top would be where it was secured. Butter churning was a practice that involved agitating cream in order to separate the buttermilk from the yellow butterfat. This would be achieved through the constant rocking motion of the rocking butter churn, which was operated by a simple lever or foot pedal. Churning usually took place twice a week during the summer. The rocking butter churn was introduced in the mid-18th century and became widely used in the 19th century. What is this metal disc thing with retractable spokes I found in a pile of random antiques at work? I work in antiques and primarily deal with dolls, but my boss has collected a variety of antique things over the years. It is 2 inches and possibly brass. It has 1/4 inch spokes that extend and retract when the center knob is turned. It is Italian in origin, with "Made in Italy" on it and various Italian patent marks on it. My boss doesn't remember what it is, where it came from, or what it's used for, so I couldn't even guess what sort of thing this could be used for. It's a vintage 1930s daisy knitter. The wool is wound around the spokes and then worked into the shape of a flat daisy flower. I found this in an antique store in a pile of random tools. The end is pointed but not sharp and looks well used. It is very light and did not have any writing on it anywhere. It was completely symmetrical from front to back and side to side. What is it? It's a leather cutting knife, also known as head knives. There was a great variety of shapes with these round knives, but they were almost always at least a half circle. I saw this pair in an antique store. They look like serving trays if they were upside down. I thought maybe a bell of some sort, but makes an ugly clang. And it doesn't seem to accommodate a lamp. It's made of metal, maybe brass, and the top dome part is screwed on. What is this thing? These are brass hat stands, protecting them from deformation or falling over. What is this thing found at an antique market in Wisconsin? It's about 6 inches across the top. The hole is about 3.5 inches. It looks like a spittoon of some kind. My friend found it and brought it home, but has no idea what it is. It's a child's potty, specifically a chamber pot. My mom used one when we moved to an old farmhouse in Pennsylvania. I had the job of filling it up with water from the hand pump. This was in the early 1970s. There's even a black and white photo in one of my mom's albums of me sitting on it. What is this tiny brass leg found in an antique shop? I'm not sure what it's used for. It's a small sculpture of a leg in a boot with a pointy toe, about 2 to 2.5 inches long. It's pretty weighty given the size, and looks like it's probably brass given the color. I'm not sure of origin or age. From the way the foot is depicted, I'd assume pre-Victorian, with no writing anywhere on it. What is it? It's a tobacco pipe tamper shaped like a cowboy's leg. It is used to press down the tobacco inside the pipe bowl in order to best manage the burning of the tobacco. What is this antique wooden box with some small brass plates in it? It comes with a bigger round plate attached to strings and attached to a metal bar. There's French written on the box, but I have no clue what it says. I bought it from an antique shop, and the owner doesn't know what it is either. It says it's from the 1600s. Any ideas? Please let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching. Let's make life fun.